Hello everybody. So this week the Weight Watchers topic is knowing your why. Basically, why did you first come to Weight Watchers? What's your why? What keeps you going? So if you've watched my first video, you know that I joined Weight Watchers back in May of 2013, and I've pretty much been going ever since. I did take a short 3-month break in the beginning of 2015, but it's just because I started student teaching, and at that time I wasn't working, so I couldn't afford to go. But as soon as I got a job, I immediately joined, which was roughly about 3-4 months later. So anyways, my why. So I've been pretty much overweight since I was about 11, 12 years old, and it just progressively got higher. My We never really had a scale in our home, so I never really know what weight I was up until more recently. My mom just didn't have one. She's been skinny her whole life, so she didn't really see the need of having a scale or anything like that. But I can estimate about what I weigh just because I remember fitting into a size 24, size 26 shorts, so I was at least in the 250, 260 range. I lost weight for a short period around 2003, right before I met my fiance. I just pretty much went on this complete crash diet. I wouldn't eat for days at a time, and then my mom and dad had just gotten this Doughboy, which is just basically kind of like a larger pool. So I would swim every day as soon as I got home from college, and then I just pretty much didn't eat anything, and of course the weight come off pretty quickly. I had since tried doing that, and it hasn't been able to work since. And since then, of course, I've been on pretty much every diet you can think of, and only would last for a short period of time, or I would lose 20, 30 pounds, and then just I got a point where I was just tired of being on this particular diet where I was restricted this, restricted that, so forth and so on. So I remember I was kind of been, for a couple of years, I'd been going through this yo-yo diet of the HCG diet. My mother-in-law, she tried it. She was really successful with it. She lost like 40 or 50 pounds. And I don't recommend anybody trying it. This huge procedure, and just, it's crazy. And you basically restricting yourself to 500 calories a day, and it's just really hard. You're just miserable. So I remember very specifically thinking, oh, I need to see about ordering some more of that online, because you order everything overseas and you have to wait, a month or two for it to come in. So I remember thinking, oh, I need to order that, and it's kind of expensive. It's like between $50 and $100, and I was thinking, I already knew that I would fail. I already knew that, oh, it was only going to last a short period of time, and it's profound now thinking of that I realized that, and I was still thinking of doing it. But I remember I had this sort of friend on Facebook, and she'd posted some pictures of herself before and after. She was losing weight, and she'd mentioned that she had used Weight Watchers. She'd never mentioned it before, but she'd shown like her before and after. So I guess in the back of my head, I kind of always, that kind of just stuck with me. It didn't happen right away, but I remember thinking that, and I remember just one day I was just really feeling down. It's especially the last few years right before I decided to join Weight Watchers. I remember I was just a very horrible person to be around. I had gotten to the point where my weight affected me so much that it affected my attitude and the way I was around other people, and I was just a horrible person to be around, especially for like my sister. She was really skinny and she could fit into all these clothes, and I wanted to fit into them, and I was so upset because she could and I couldn't, and just everything that goes along with being overweight, and insecurities and not feeling good enough, and realizing that you're starting to get to the point where you're not fitting into the largest size of clothes at Lane Bryant anymore. I was very solid size 28, especially in bottom. A little bit smaller, probably 22, 24, probably think of 24 in top. But nothing I wanted to wear would fit. Obviously, when you go into the plus size range, a lot of clothes that are trendy, they don't look good. At least they didn't look good on me, or they don't carry something that you're wanting for the season, whatever it is. So that was always really hard on me, and especially the last couple of years, it just really, really started affecting me. So yeah, so at that point, I remember just one day, for some reason, I just was looking up Weight Watchers. I remember like I always dreamed of joining like Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig when I was in my teens, but my mom and dad didn't really have a lot of money, so they couldn't afford anything like that. So that was just completely out of the is not an option at all. It's just they couldn't afford it. And then I remember like looking this up, and I know I'm sorry I'm scattered because all of these thoughts are coming to me, but I remember very specifically looking it up in Weight Watchers and kind of like you can't really find a price. It's not really easy to find a price, but kind of I think I did. I don't really remember exactly. And I remember looking this up and I was thinking about it, and because me and my sister were living together at the time, and I went out and I was like, I want to go to Weight Watchers tonight. I want to go to Weight Watchers tonight. There's a meeting at 5:30, and and they suggested to get there half an hour early. It was probably around 4:30 or so. And she was tired. She's like, no, no, I'm just tired because we both worked together. And she's like, I just, tired. Maybe tomorrow or maybe next week or something. And I remember going, okay. And I remember telling my fiance about it, and he was just like, he was my boyfriend at the time, but he was just like, well, then I'll go with you. And I was just like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. I didn't really want him to go with me. Like, he already knew I was overweight. He met me, when I was a little smaller than what I am now. And then, of course, at my heaviest. And my sister's always been the one that's been there for me, especially knowing how much I've struggled with weight. So I really wanted her to go. And he said he would go. And I kind of knew if I didn't go, I may not have gone. I mean, I might have, but I don't know. So I agreed until we went down there, and I remember getting there and I was really scared and so nervous. And my leader, Mel, at the time, she was very nice, but she was getting ready to start the meeting. She's like, okay, well, you need to decide because I got to go start my meeting. And I was just like, okay. So I just sat through the meeting, and I did. I felt really encouraged. The meetings are really warm, and for me, it's what I needed. If it wasn't for the meetings, I don't believe I would have been as successful as I am. Um, I couldn't do it online myself. It's amazing everybody that can do it online themselves. For me, I really need the motivation. I need the encouragement. I need to hear other people's stories and what they've overcome, the challenges they have. That's really the huge part for me, honestly. It's the meetings are everything. So that's kind of my initial why, what got me there, and then my why that keeps me going. It has definitely changed since then. Um, my why now is when I first started this journey, I hated exercise. Exercise was torture. Maybe going in the pool and floating around was okay, but exercise was torture. The thought of going on a hike or going on a walk, are you kidding me? I don't think so. And now it's something I absolutely love. I love going walking. In fact, I've got a burn right now because I went walking on Monday over President's Day weekend, and I just love it. I love seeing all the beautiful shades of green, the pretty, bright, brilliant flowers. I mean, everything just has a different look to me now. Everything outside looks beautiful. I don't always want to be inside. I want to see green. I want to see the trees. I want to see the plants. I want to feel the fresh air. So that's one thing, is the fact that I enjoy exercising, and I don't want it to get to the point where it hurts and I don't want to exercise. I remember just the way I feel now. There's certain things, the way I move, the way I get up. It's so much easier than it was before when I was heavier. I mean, sometimes just walking would wind me, and it's crazy to think that. I remember I was getting to the point one day when me and my sister were at a shoe store, and I asked her to help me buckle up a shoe because I couldn't button or buckle up a high heel. And she just kind of looked at me and she's like, really, Cassandra, you need me to buckle up your shoe? And that was kind of a wake-up call, and something I'm grateful that I don't need that anymore. There's just so many things. The way I feel now, I feel so happy. I'm glad to be able to pretty much go into almost any store and find something. And before, it was Lane Bryant or Ross, the plus size section.